and today I'll be showing you guys how to make this mini poppies. In particular, I'm gonna show you guys how to make this one, but you can make them bigger just like the others by changing the yarn size and also choose a bigger hook. You can make them in different colors and they're gonna look adorable. So without further ado, let's just get on to the tutorial. For this tutorial, I will be using 3mm hook from Tulip, and I'm using 4-ply milk cotton yarn. This is the brand that I am using. And for this tutorial, I will be making the mini poppy in pink, but we will also need 2 different colors of yarn, yellow and green, for the stem and also for the stamen and the sepal. So let's start with the flower. For the first row, we're gonna do 1 magic ring. To do magic ring, we're gonna hold the tail end like this and use our 2 finger, take the yarn from this and wrap it in our hand like this and flip it and put it across like that. And we're gonna insert our hook here and up above this yarn so we can pull this yarn at the back, and we're gonna pull this and flip it up, and we're gonna yarn over. We can use our pointer finger to hold the yarn in place, yarn over, and we're gonna pull through this. We're gonna tighten it. And this is how our magic ring looks like. We can pull this tail out and kind of tighten it a little bit by pulling this short tail like that, just to make it comfortable to hold. And let's begin. This is how I hold my yarn. So for the first row, we're gonna do 6 single crochet into this loop. So 1 single crochet. We're gonna put our stitch marker into this loop so we don't forget and it's easier to see, especially if you're a beginner. And we're gonna do 5 more single crochet. So that's 1, and we want to make 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're gonna tighten the loop by pulling this short tail like this. Make sure it's kind of tight. And we're gonna do slip stitch into this loop with a stitch marker. So we're gonna take off the stitch marker and insert our hook into this loop. And what I like to do is I like to bring this short tail in front of the hook so I can weave the end as I crochet. And we're gonna hold it there. And we're gonna yarn over, pull through, and pull through again. So that's slip stitch. And for the second row, we're gonna start with chain 1. We're gonna insert 6 increase into each stitch on this row. So to do that, we're gonna do 1 single crochet into the first loop here. So insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. We're gonna use our stitch marker here again. So that's 1 single crochet, and to do an increase we need to do 2 single crochet in 1 loop. So we're gonna insert our hook again in the same stitch like that and pull through and yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 2 single crochet in 1 stitch, and that is called increase. And we're gonna do 5 more of this until we have 2 stitches total for this row. So 1 single crochet into the next row and 1 single crochet into the next stitch. Sorry, not row but stitch. And 1 single crochet into the next stitch and 1 single crochet into the same stitch. So that's 3 increase. We're gonna do 3 more. So 1 single crochet into the next stitch and 1 single crochet into the same stitch. 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 single crochet into the same stitch. And for the last one, 1 single crochet into the next stitch and 1 single crochet into the same stitch. We're gonna remove this stitch marker and we're gonna insert our hook here and do 1 slip stitch. For row 3, we're gonna start with chain 1, and we're gonna do 1 single crochet in each stitch. So we will have 12 stitches by the end of this row. So we're gonna start with 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and we're gonna insert our marker here again, and we're just gonna continue working on 1 single crochet in each loop. So that's one single crochet into the next one, 2, another single crochet, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 12 single crochet in each loop, and this tail is pretty much already weaved in 2 rows, so we're just gonna cut this so it doesn't really bother us anymore. So that's finished, and we're gonna finish the 3rd row by doing slip stitch into this marker. So take off the marker and insert our hook into this stitch, yarn over, pull through all the loops. So that's row 3 finished, and we're gonna put our stitch marker into the back loop of this stitch that we just slip stitch at. So there's like 2 kind of loop there. We're gonna insert the stitch marker into the back one like that, and this is the front one. So we are going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're gonna do double treble crochet increase. So to do double treble crochet, we're gonna have to yarn over 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. So it will look like this, and we will do the double treble crochet into the front loop only. So it's FLO, and the front loop is the one in front of here, in front of the stitch marker and next to the chain we did. So we're gonna insert our hook into the front loop only like this, because that is the back loop. So we're gonna yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So this is how it looks like, and we're gonna do 1 more double treble crochet into the same loop. So yarn over 3 times, insert our hook into the front loop only of the same stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's our first double treble crochet increase, and we're gonna do 5 more of this until we have 6 increase, and let's do it. Yarn over 3 times, insert our hook into the next front loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. There's a lot of pull through 2, and yeah, so 3 times yarn over like that and insert it into the same loop, double treble crochet. So we already did 2 increase here, double treble crochet, and we're gonna yarn over 3 times again and insert our hook into the front loop in the next stitch and continue doing the double treble crochet. Don't forget that it is 3 times yarn over, because if it's twice it will only be treble crochet. So that's 3, and insert into the next loop, front loop only, 4, another 1, 4, 2 more increase, 3 times yarn over, 5, 5, 6, and one more into the last, not the last one, but the 6th front loop only. So this is how it should look like, and we're gonna do chain 5. So we're gonna chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna do 1 slip stitch into the same loop here where we did the double treble crochet. So insert 1 slip stitch here, and we're gonna do another slip stitch in the front loop only, and yarn over and pull through. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So to do that, we're just gonna do another chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're gonna do double treble, not double treble, but double treble crochet increase again. So yarn over 3 times and insert our hook into the same loop where we did the slip stitch. So 1 double treble crochet and another one in the same loop, like that. So we're gonna do it 5 more times, so that's 1. Remember to only put it in the front loops only. 2, 2, yarn over 3 times, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and the last increase 6, and one more, 3 times yarn over, insert into the same loop, and so that's the last increase. And we're gonna do chain 5, chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna slip stitch into the same loop here, pull through. So this is how it's going to look like at the end of this point, and we are just going to fasten off. So chain 1, and cut off the tail. We can leave it a little bit longer so it will be easier to weave it with the darning needle. And we're going to insert our hook to this hole here that you guys can see, and we're gonna pull through our yarn to the back side, like that. Okay. So now we basically have to repeat the same thing here, but on the back loop only. As if you guys remember, we still have 12 single crochet back loops because earlier we worked on the front loops. So, but we're not gonna insert it into this stitch marker here because this is our first stitch, and if we put it here, then the shape won't look nice because it's basically just like 2 of this on top of each other, but we kind of want to make it like, instead of like this, but we want to make it like this, if you know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. So to do that, we are going to find the middle part of this. So this is our stitch marker, and we're gonna find the 4th loop. So this is first one, and this is the second one, the 3rd one, and the 4th one. So we basically have to work on from this one, but we're gonna insert it from this side. So if you guys are looking at it from this point of view, you can see it like this. So we're gonna grab our pink yarn again, and we're gonna insert our yarn like this, and you have to hold it for the first kind of like stitch until we did the double treble crochet. So make sure to hold it in place with your left finger. And we're gonna do chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're gonna do double treble crochet in the same stitch, just like where we insert the hook. So yarn over 3 times and insert our hook here, and make sure that your short tail, this tail, is on top of the hook. So when you yarn over and you pull through, you will also get the tail. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're gonna tighten this a little bit like that and still hold it in place. And it will also weave the tail as we go. And we're gonna do 1 more double treble crochet into the same loop here. So that's the first increase. We're gonna do 5 more just like how we did before. So yarn over 3 times, insert the hook into the next loop. It's this one here. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And 1 more. This is the this is the second one. We're gonna do 6. So we're gonna do 4 more. So this is 3, 3, and double treble crochet into the next loop, 4, 4, 5, 5, and 6, and 6. So that's 2 double crochet in 1. And now we're gonna do chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can also cut the tail of this, cut off this tail, so it's already weaved in. So after chain 5, we're gonna insert our hook into the same loop here where we did our double treble crochet. So slip stitch here, yarn over and pull through all the loops. We're gonna slip stitch into the next loop here. So 1 slip stitch and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and do 6 more double treble crochet increase. Yarn over 3 times, insert the hook into the same loop where we did the slip stitch. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And 1 more in the same stitch. So that's 1. And now 2. Insert it into the next loop. 2. Yarn over 3 times. 3. 3. So we already did 3 double treble crochet increase here, and the third one and the fourth one is gonna be inside this stitch marker. So we're gonna remove the stitch marker, and remember this loop here, that's where we're gonna do our double treble crochet, the fourth one. So 4, another 1, 4, to the next loop, 5, 5, and 6 and one more 6. And we're gonna do chain 5, 1 2 3 4 5, and we're gonna slip stitch into the same loop that we just did here. So slip stitch, and we're gonna do chain 1 and fasten off. Cut the tail, and we're also gonna pull this to the back side, but first we're gonna have to insert our hook and pull this all the way and insert our hook here so we can pull this tail to the back. Same with this one because it's in the middle right now, but we're gonna insert our hook here, the closest hole, and we're gonna pull it to the back. So now they're all at the back here. So this is how our mini poppy looks like, and I'm gonna weave the end at the back here. So this is how it looks from the back after it's all weaved in, and we're gonna work on the flower core, like the middle one here. So for the stamen or the flower core, we're gonna start with row 1. Row 1, we're gonna start with magic ring again, and we're gonna put it across and yarn over and pull through this loop, and take this short tail out, tighten it a little bit so it's easier to hold, and we're gonna do 5 single crochet into the magic ring. So 1, and we're gonna use our stitch marker again here, 1 2 3 4 and 5, and then we're gonna pull the short tail here, tighten it, and we're gonna insert our hook into the stitch marker. So we're gonna remove the stitch marker and remember that loop, and we're gonna insert it into both loops, and we're gonna do a slip stitch. So yarn over, pull through all the loops. For the second row, we're gonna do 5 single crochet increase, and to do that we're gonna do 1 chain and insert our hook into this first loop here and do 1 single crochet, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. We're gonna insert our marker here again in the first stitch. We're gonna do 1 more single crochet into the same loop, so 1 single crochet here, so that's 1 increase, and we're gonna do 4 more because we want to do 5. So this is the second one, single crochet into the next loop and single crochet in the same loop, that's 2, single crochet in the next loop, single crochet in the same loop, single crochet in the next loop, this is 4, and single crochet in the same loop, and the last one, single crochet in the last loop, in the next loop, and another single crochet in the same loop. So that is 5 single crochet increase, and we're gonna remove our stitch marker and insert our hook in there again, and we're gonna do a slip stitch. So insert our hook and pull through and pull through again, and make sure it's tight. You can kind of like pull this on the right side, and we're gonna cut off our yarn here. We can also, and then I'm gonna pull this out and I'm gonna weave this end. So this is how it looks after it's weaved in, and we're gonna start with a row 3, but for row 3 we have to change the color into yellow, and we're gonna insert our hook into whichever loop that you see. Insert our hook like this, and we're gonna grab our yellow yarn like this. So now we're gonna do chain 3, and we're gonna slip stitch into the same loop. So that's 1, and we're gonna do slip stitch into the next loop, chain 3, slip stitch into the same loop, slip stitch into the next loop, chain 3, slip stitch into the same loop, and slip stitch into the next loop, chain 3. Basically, we're just gonna be repeating this pattern until we reach the end. So chain 3, slip stitch into the same loop, another slip stitch into the next loop, and chain 3, slip stitch into the same loop, slip stitch into the next loop, chain 3, slip stitch to the same loop, slip stitch into the next loop, chain 3. I will meet you at the end. So this is the last chain 3, so we're gonna do chain 3 and we're gonna insert our hook into the same loop and do slip stitch into the same loop, and we're gonna slip stitch into the next loop here where we did our first one, and we're gonna chain 1 and fasten off. Going to pull this and weave the end, and this is our finished flower core. And now we're gonna put this aside and we're gonna work on the flower sepal, which is the bottom part of the flower. We're also going to start with a magic ring, and we're gonna insert our hook and do it as usual. We're gonna pull this out and make it smaller. So for row 1, we're gonna start with 5 single crochet into the loop, into the magic ring. So 1, and we're gonna insert our stitch marker, and we're gonna make 4 more. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're gonna pull this, make it tighter, and we're gonna slip stitch into the first loop again. This is very similar to the first 3 rows of the flower sepal, and we're gonna slip stitch, pull through all the loops. We're gonna chain 1 for row 2. We're gonna do 5 single crochet increase. So we're gonna insert our hook into the first stitch. It's a little bit tight, and we're gonna insert our stitch marker here, and we're gonna do 1 more single crochet in here. So that's 1 single crochet increase. We're gonna do 4 more. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and slip stitch into the first stitch again with the stitch marker. So yarn over, pull through all the loops. And for the third row, we're gonna start with chain 1, and we're going to do 10 single crochet, so 1 in each loop. So we're gonna start with the first one. So that's 1. Insert our stitch marker, and we're gonna do 9 more until we have 10. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're gonna do slip stitch, and we're also gonna flip this over. I'm gonna do 1 slip stitch here. So 1 slip stitch into the first loop marked with the stitch marker. We're gonna tighten it by pulling the right thing. And now for row 4, we're gonna do chain 2, and we're gonna do front loops only double crochet. So we're gonna yarn over and insert our hook into the front loop only of the first stitch, and we're gonna yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we did 1 double crochet into the front loops only, and we're gonna do 1 picot stitch. To do that, we are gonna chain 1 and insert our hook here. I'm gonna repeat it again into this one here, and yarn over, pull through, and pull through again. It's basically like a slip stitch. And now we're gonna do 1 more double crochet into the same loop. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we're gonna do a slip stitch in the same loop, and then we are going to do a slip stitch into the next loop, and we're gonna do chain 2 and 1 double crochet into the same loop, and 1 picot stitch, and 1 more double crochet into the same loop, and 1 slip stitch into the next loop, and we're gonna do 1 more slip stitch into the next loop, chain 2, double crochet into the same loop, 1 picot stitch, and double crochet into the same loop, and slip stitch into the next loop, and we're gonna do 1 more slip stitch into the next loop, chain 2, double crochet into the same loop, and chain 1 picot stitch, double crochet into the same loop, and slip stitch into the next loop, 1 more slip stitch into the next loop, chain 2, double crochet in the same loop, chain 1 picot stitch, double crochet in the same loop, and slip stitch into the same loop, into the next loop, and last one, 1 slip stitch into the next loop, chain 2, double crochet into the same loop, chain 1 picot stitch, and double crochet into the same loop, and we're gonna slip stitch into the next loop here, like where we did the first one. So this is how it's going to look, and we're gonna chain 1 and fasten off. I'm gonna pull this to the back and weave in the tail. This is how our flower bottom looks like. So these are all of the parts that we've made for this mini poppy, and I'm gonna show you how to assemble them. So you will need this floral wire, 40 centimeters. It's the one that I have, and we're going to kind of adjust it a little bit with like this plier, and we're gonna make it like a circle. So you can adjust the floral wire to look like this, and we're going to insert it into the middle part of our flower petal here in the middle. We're gonna push it up, and it's gonna end like this. If it's kind of like getting out, if it's getting out like this, you can make it smaller. So this is how mine looks like. It will make sure that the flower wouldn't come off. We're gonna insert our floral core there in the middle. So I will be putting some hot glue gun here, rather generously I would say. My hot glue gun is a little bit stuck. So I've put a generous amount of hot glue gun in my flower core, and I'm just gonna place it like this. Make sure it's in the center like that, and hold it in place for a couple of seconds so it will stay in place. So that's how it looks like. And now we're gonna insert the flower sepal, this thing, We're also gonna insert it this way to the middle part of it, like in the middle here, like that. We're gonna push it down like this. So that's how it's going to look like from the bottom. And we're also gonna add some hot glue gun here. And we're just gonna push it down. And hold it in place for a couple of seconds. Make sure it's neat and secure. And now, as usual, we're just gonna grab our green yarn and wrap the stem. So we're gonna kind of like make an X here and wrap it like so. And I'm gonna push it up and continue wrapping. Make sure that you cover this yarn end, the yarn tail. So once you almost reach the end, leave like around 1 centimeters at the end, and we're gonna apply our hot glue gun a little bit here, not too thick. And we're gonna make sure to wrap the yarn neatly around the hot glue gun, like that. And we're gonna grab our hot glue gun once more and just kind of tidy it up with the tip, like that. And we can use our finger to make sure they're all secure. So this is our poppy finish from the side, and this is how it looks from the top. So yeah, this is our finished mini poppy. So congratulations on finishing your mini poppy. I hope you guys love this pattern, and if you do, don't forget to like this video and also leave a comment on what tutorial I should make next. And also, if you have any suggestions on what kind of video you want to see from me, be sure to leave it in the comment as well. Thank you so much for watching this one. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you next time. Bye!